This video might be a little long-winded, but I tried vlogging again and I just can't bring myself to do it anymore. I feel like I've basically been bullied off of TikTok. I have privatized all my other videos so that I can download them just for keepsakes. Just an overview of what happened. I was having some issues with my duplex neighbors. A young guy moved in next door. He bought the place and he rented out rooms and the basement to 3 other young men. I vented online, but not once did I identify anybody. I was just venting because I'm all alone here. I don't have any local friends and I really just wanted to get it off my chest. Suddenly there were dozens of comments, people bullying me, calling me names, making fun of me, calling me crazy. Burner accounts made with my picture, also calling me crazy. And I'd look at these profiles and they were younger people from their age group and local. No, that was just a coincidence. Especially considering I make these vlogs for fun. I literally get no comments, and if I do, it's 1 or 2, and it's by people who follow me on a regular basis. Last year, I just had a little bit of an issue with noise on the other side of the bedroom wall. It was quite loud, and I was afraid to ask, but I asked, I said, sometimes I'm not well and I need to rest during the day, if maybe they could just turn that down. Well, no, that's within their right. Of course it is. So they ignored me, and so I got a little frustrated, and I said, look, come on, can you guys just move that music to your common area? Like, you guys are grown men here. I admit, I was getting pissed off by this time. And no, they kept going. They were absolutely proving me a point. Then I'm outside assembling an Adirondack chair. And these chairs, they are shaped so weird. So I stopped and I looked really puzzled. It's quite evident that I was like, what the heck? Coincidentally, at that moment, I hear, incompetent! Oh, please don't let that be directed at me. And I was doing my best to believe, no, that was a coincidence. And then I'm pretty sure it was on the same day I heard laughing and I looked up. And I make a point of not looking at their windows directly, but I did look up because it sounded weird and I saw the curtain move. Okay, so we're dealing with real fucking childish guys here. Oh, and about the music on the other side of the wall, it wasn't just that. There was continual shouting, like they did not give a fuck that there was somebody living on the other side of the wall. They were always, I guess, drunk, shouting, swearing. Clearly swearing doesn't bug me, but I'm talking they were rowdy. And I've seen a lot of it. Guys get that way during their sausage fests. I've been in the army for 18 years. I've seen a lot of it. So by then I did regret asking them to turn the music off or turn it down on the other side of the bedroom wall. Obviously that caused a big problem. And during that evening, they were starting to have a gathering in their backyard, a fire pit gathering. And that's great. I was in my own backyard minding my own business. And suddenly there was a lot of whispering and giggling. And yes, they're allowed to do that. However, it made me feel quite uncomfortable, especially with the other occurrences that day, so I just went inside. As the evening progressed, they started to have a shouting party. And again, the backpedaling, oh no, that wasn't directed at you. But they were fucking shouting and proving a point. It was very evident. And put it this way, I wasn't the only person who could hear them. So I'm laying in my bed crying. It's hot out, but it's like, fuck, do I just shut my window? Then I'm just going to be sweltering hot. I don't know what to do. I had my fan on. And at 11:15, I hear, T-minus 14 minutes. Yeah, that wasn't directed at the neighbor either. The police wouldn't help me. They said they were busy that night, but, and then to add insult to injury, at 11, they went up onto their deck and they were smoking so much cannabis. By then, I just went and sat in my kitchen. Considering it's summer, my window was open and all the cannabis was blowing into my kitchen window. And I forgot to add, the person who owned the house, the gentleman who bought it, he wasn't even outside monitoring the people. There was an official announcement outside, and the person said, so-and-so, owner of the home. And yes, he actually referred to him as the owner of the home. So I think these are guys who just been weaned off the teat. Anyway, I had to take matters into my own hands, so either I continually submit to them since there is no give or take here. Again, I must reiterate, I don't care if people have parties or have fun once in a while, but they were obnoxious fucking assholes. So I went out and I bought an 1100 watt speaker. I wouldn't have spent the money on that speaker had I not been a music lover to begin with. I actually have 2 now since they can be paired over Wi-Fi, and I'm absolutely in love with them. I have never been happy with my speakers, so now I am more than happy. So I thought I'd play some music for them that day. They don't want to respect me. Well, why should I respect them too? They phoned the police on me twice. And here's the thing. I could be called a Karen because I stood up for myself, but I'm not going to submit to them. And it took me having to do that for them to tell the police officers that they will comply with being more quiet from now on. I had to go through all of that just for that. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my speakers. And eventually we made amends and we bought a roof together and things were great. But I had a hunch that things just weren't quite genuine on his end. But I just kept being friendly and just kept hoping, well, if I'm just friendly, things will be harmonious and everything will be good. But I could feel something just wasn't right. And not too long ago, they were having one of their sausage fests and they were having fun and shouting, whatever it is, what it is. And I'm not going to say exactly what I heard, and I don't eavesdrop, but they definitely weren't being quiet. And it sounded like they were making fun of me, which was really hurtful, but at the same time I wasn't surprised. Other than that, their sausage fest was sounding kind of funny. Whatever, they were having a fun time. But yeah, the making fun of me was quite hurtful. And a few days later, I guess they felt like having another sausage fest. But this time the shouting is a lot worse and they are pounding against the wall. I don't know, maybe they're having wrestling matches, sex with each other, who knows? But I mean, the one a few days prior, it wasn't bad. Like, whatever, they were having a good time. So this time I got frustrated because I'm trying to read a book and I turned on my music to try to drown them out, and they could definitely hear it. And then I had a panic attack. And now I know that they smoke their cannabis out their front door because that peace officer told them that their cannabis blows into my kitchen window when they're smoking it in the back. I'm not anti-cannabis. I just don't like it blowing in my fucking house. So I'm in a panic and I go out to my truck because I have a really bad coping mechanism where when I have a panic attack, I go straight to the liquor store. I self-medicate with alcohol. And our front doors are on either side of the house, which is nice. It's kind of private that way. So they were around the corner having their cannabis, and it just so happened that one of them pokes his head around the corner laughing. Oh no, that wasn't directed to me either. That must all be in my head. He probably had no idea that I was looking right at him, considering my windows are tinted right out. We made her mad. But yeah, like I said, I could tell it wasn't very sincere at all. Even before, like when we were in the original conflict, I was obviously mad driving down the street, and the fellow with the gray truck was totally laughing at me. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already. So it's me against all of them. So anyway, I made a post after this big sausage fest with the pounding on the wall. I didn't identify a single person. I literally just said, I'm at the end of my rope and I truly don't know what I'm going to do at this point. I hate living here. These are not very nice people. I don't even like to go into my yard. I don't want to be watched and made fun of in my yard. That is just fucking creepy and weird, beyond weird. And then I made another post and I explained what happened, and suddenly I get flooded with all sorts of comments. People bullying me, people trying to fuck with me, saying, oh, those are terrible neighbors. And they're all local people from their age group. And I literally get no comments on my videos ever. Suddenly dozens. But I did thank in my video whomever did phone the police to check on me, because I was quite distressed in my video, and I was saying that I was at the end of my rope, and I do have those ideations. And I was foolishly making videos where I was really upset, and these idiots who are clearly their friends or themselves were making burner accounts with my picture, calling me names, just making it worse. But one thing that stood out to me was a woman who told me I sound unhinged. I looked at her Facebook profile and she is pro mental health. I wasn't sounding unhinged. I was sounding angry and frustrated. But the fucking audacity of this woman, who has recently gone through such a tragic incident, the death of a family member, to come on my social media and tell me, insult me, and call me unhinged because I'm upset. You should fucking be ashamed of yourself. Also, does that post about the mental health, is that just posted to make you look good? A little bit of virtue signaling. So I made some posts where I was clearly upset. I talk about when they let their dog run at large and it came and urinated on my front porch. They weren't looking for the dog or anything. And so the burner accounts were making fun of the lemons on my sleep shirt. Like, grow the fuck up. And then another local guy said that the pillows on my couch speak to how insane I am. So they are just outright bullying me, and it worked. Bullying me for whatever they can find, for any reason. And like I said, I didn't identify these people to anybody, and they sent all of these people to bully me. It's truly disgusting. And it's sad because I just wanted to share things with my garden for the last couple days. I saw a couple white butterflies that I wanted to share and my harvest and what I picked from my garden. And I don't even feel comfortable doing any of that anymore. I still can't believe they sent so many people to harass me. And this isn't even all of it. However, I have been keeping track because if it escalates any further, I need to stand up for myself and I need evidence. One of the people who commented on my video, she tried to use the kill it with kindness approach, and she told me that they're allowed to have parties, they're allowed to shout, and they're allowed to giggle. Thanks there, tips. Like I had no fucking idea that they're allowed to do that. Living in a duplex, there's a little bit of fucking give and take. However, that doesn't work with them. So even though I don't have any local friends, I can't have parties, but I definitely can shout. Not to be retaliatory, however, I love Metallica, Pantera, Nine Inch Nails, Ministry, some good AC/DC, maybe a bit of Static X. And I love to belt it out, but I usually do that in my truck. But since they're allowed to shout, so am I. Not to be retaliatory, but just to enjoy my property. I used to be so worried. One time I was making something with my stand mixer and it was to take 23 minutes. And I panicked. Oh no, it's going to be 13 minutes after the quiet hours that I have to keep it running. I was going out of my way to be as quiet as possible, which was silly of me. I was noisy. I'm not perfect. I did buy him beer one time and I've apologized another time. There were some times I was struggling. But now, I couldn't give two shits. It's fair game at this point. I even called bylaw, and the bylaw officer I spoke with said, even if they can hear it, obviously in reason, if they can hear my stuff in their house, I have every right to enjoy my property just like they do. So there was never a give or take. It was more along the lines of, we have rights and we can do whatever the fuck we want. So can I. Also, a lot of the music I love is bass heavy. Well, I guess it is what it is. I don't turn on the bass boost, but maybe they can hear it. And I don't give a fuck. At this point, there is no more respect coming from my end. This has passed the point of no return, especially with so many people bullying me on here. What are they going to do? Deny it? Oh, I don't know who those people were. It's literally just a bunch of idiots who are being called out on their shit and now backpedaling. So I did erect a makeshift privacy screen so I could sit at my fire pit without them watching me and making fun of me, which is still so fucking weird. Like, what, you're gonna watch me toast a marshmallow and pet my dog? Oh my god, that's so funny. However, I did order a nice indoor/outdoor privacy wall, which will look much better. I've already figured out how I will attach it to the ground. And for a little more privacy, a cantilever umbrella. Obviously, I'll have to take it down when I have a fire pit, but the privacy wall should be okay. If it's far away enough from the fire pit. Plus, I could just give it a bit of a spray down with the hose. I always have the hose on anyway and a fire extinguisher nearby. But I gotta tell you, I felt so much more comfortable with that privacy wall a few days ago when I had my fire pit. Like, that feeling of being made fun of is just so awful. It was so weird and mean. But what an expensive month, because not only did I buy these things, but guess who arrived at my house a couple days ago? I've been wanting the 12.5-foot Inferno Deadwood skeleton, but I guess he always sells out before the end of Halloween, so I couldn't buy him on clearance last year. I had to pay full price. So last year I had 7 belly dancing skeletons, plus an 8th matching puppy skeleton and a belly dancing outfit, so I guess 8 belly dancing skeletons. This year I plan to have at least 10. I've decided that I'm not going to let these idiots ruin my Halloween. This brings me so much joy, and it brings children so much joy, which makes me so happy. I love seeing those little faces light up when they see all my decor and when they get a neat treat bag. I'm not going to let them ruin this for me. So I'm going to make the most of my home. I can't believe I originally considered moving, but I'm not going anywhere. And it's fair fucking game. Have your parties, because I'm enjoying my place too.